Whoop, 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 whoop. What's up, Internet? Dakk Attack Janiels saying hello. It's about, well, actually, no, it's not almost midnight. But basically, it's Tuesday. It's 11:22, and I'm just shooting from the hip. I actually don't have anything prepared. But, I don't know. I just wanted to share some feelings and thoughts, aspirations, if you will. Um, I've been going through a weird transformation since January, and it's been both parts terrifying and uplifting. I I've been doing appliance repair and handyman work probably for the last decade, and 2 days before Christmas in 2024, I lost my job. So I've been unemployed. Uh, I wouldn't even want to say unemployed. I mean, I don't work a 9 to 5 right now, but basically, I've been taking my skills and also just I don't know, doing odd jobs to make ends meet between then and now, and it's been working. Um, can't complain. Can't complain at all. It's you know, a lot of people I don't think have faith in themselves to actually make the plunge. I've been thinking of the future since the pandemic, and that's when I learned about investing, learned how to invest, learned about better financial practices, better saving money, blah, 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 blah. And my whole thing was around that time, I felt like a slave to my job. I was doing something, I wasn't really happy about it. You know, we all obviously had the trauma from the pandemic. My sister had just died. So, like, when you go through experiences like that, priorities and what's important to you, it can change. Well, I guess the trauma of it, too, it just changes your perception of things, I think. But, anyways, I started saving up money so I could basically have fuck you money and never have to feel like a slave again. I saved up basically 3, 4 months worth of income so that I never felt like I had to work somewhere. If I truly was not happy, I literally could. And this is what I always told people after I did it. It's like I could just quit my job tomorrow if I wanted to and not even have to worry about it for 4 months. And I did. I took this opportunity for the first time in my life to invest in myself. And I did. And I'm not complaining because it's keeping me afloat right now, but it's terrifying because I have 2 children and a wife who works full time technically at I don't want to say a better job, but we both do well together. So, I'm afforded the privilege and the opportunity to do this. And again, it's been great. That's not where kind of I want to go with this, but just to set the scene, it's been a weird personal journey inward and outward since January for me. And I also before I had kids, before I had just the constraints of responsibility, I started leaning into streaming. That's when I started this channel. Even before that, I had wanted to do filmmaking. I went to school for it. So, I've even had YouTube stuff and short films and projects since the early 2000s. You know, but, life happens and, you know, survival takes priority. So I shelved all that. And now I've been able to kind of round back to it. I used to post on my blog several times a day, and then it became less and less, and then less and less, and then maybe a handful of times a year. And it was basically like that up until around January, where I tried to get back into the habit of doing it at least once a week again, and doing things that are important to me again, and kind of just basing my decisions off of passion instead of practicality. And this is all heading to a point, by the way. So yesterday, a channel I had been following for a couple years, the Outdoor Boys, made an incredibly rational and well-respected decision to walk away from him blowing out the last, I don't know, year or so. His channel has literally taken the frick off. It went from a couple. I think it took him 10 years to maybe hit 1 million subscribers, but he's currently at 15 million, and most of that came in the last year. And, he decided that it was too much for him to handle. And I have mad respect for him for having that conversation with himself, with his family, with his wife, and deciding to take a break. But again, pedaling back to maybe the original point where I was going with all of this, it's given me some thought too on where I want to go and what I want to do now that I'm starting to make this a habit again. And it's never been about profit. It'd be cool to do this for a living. It'd be cool to even make money to be able to donate. It would be cool to just monetize. For the first time, I think it was in March, I finally hit the threshold for my very first payout on Twitch, which is only like $50. But you figure if I started that maybe 2017, took from 2017 to beginning of 2025 to make $50 to cash out. But it was still a milestone for me because it's like, dude, I got paid to do this. That's incredibly, I'm incredibly grateful for that. But anyways, I'm trying to figure out where to go with this. I like doing the Dakk reacts. I'm liking little videos like this. I obviously had this internal thought process about 15 minutes before I decided to come down here and set up to shoot this. But, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? I mean, I have such a myriad of hobbies and passions. I love comics. I love Star Wars, as you can tell by my changing screens. I love filmmaking. I've had a passion for that since the 4th grade. I love building stuff. I like fixing stuff. I have an LLC where I'm a handyman and appliance repair dude. I like to make videos for that. So that was a cool way for me to fill 2 niches and fill 2 hobbies and fill 2 passions and kill 2 birds with 1 stone and then repair it and then share it with you guys. But all of that is to say, I'm not really sure where I want to go from here. Obviously, I want to keep making content. But I think on this channel and for the foreseeable future, I'm going to maybe bounce all over the place just to try new things and see not necessarily what sticks, but what I could find myself doing more of. Well, I guess that would be what sticks. Yeah, just with different words. But basically, just try out new things. Do I want to be an internet commentator? I don't know, maybe. I think it would be fun to give my opinion on things. Do I want to be a reviewer? Do I want to make react videos? Do I want to make skits? Do I want to play video games? I mean, I do, but I only get 3 hours to do that a week. And also, I'm terrible at it because I can't keep up with the Joneses of modern day competition. I don't have 13 hours a day like my boy Dragar to dedicate to gaming and training, and I don't got no Halo leagues to join. I love Halo, but my whole thing with competitive gameplay is I play video games to escape reality. I don't play video games to make it a second job in that respect. So for me, Halo, it wouldn't be fun competitively. It'd be cool to be good at, though. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, I'm droning. But I guess the main takeaways from this video is, when I'm doing random stuff, that's why. And for the people that have kind of stuck it out for the long ride, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you viewing my content. I appreciate you thinking of me. It's always cool when people take an interest. I'm not going to overinflate my ego and pretend like I'm the hottest thing since sliced bread because, well, I think bread in a microwave. Actually, sliced bread itself is pretty hot if you get it straight out the bread maker. But, yeah. So I don't know. I'm in a really, I don't want to call it a weird place because that sounds negative, but I'm in maybe a chrysalis. Maybe I'm becoming a butterfly right now, and we'll see what hatches. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just gonna keep making stuff, keep doing what I enjoy. Hopefully, I can keep growing. I don't even want to call it a following because again, it's at the end of the day, I do this because I enjoy it. But it'd be cool to have a community, I suppose. Yeah. But either way, thank you for taking an interest. Thank you for stopping by. If you read my blog, thanks. Again, I'm not no professional journalist. I just shoot from the hip and write about things I enjoy, and I write about it in a tone which I feel like sounds like if I were talking about it, which, I'm not MLA style. I'm no English teacher. But I just do it all because I enjoy it. And hopefully that translates and it resonates, But yeah. I guess it's a privilege to be able to do all this, and I want to keep doing it. I want to keep doing it as much as possible, and we'll see what the future holds. I'm hopeful, one way or another. It's cool, very very cool. So that was it. It's about midnight, so I'm about to go and smoke some devil's lettuce and go to sleep, because that's the extent of my day. And I'm gonna wake up, take care of my kids, and go do my shtick to grind some money, keep it afloat. That's it. I love you. Peace.